Good evening, Bourbon Quest. It's your host, Bourbon Steve. What up? It is Thursday, so hey, we're more than halfway through the week. And anyways, worked this morning, off this evening, so I thought I would join you Bourbon Questers here tonight. If you haven't had the opportunity, the latest video prior to this one was reviewing Jack, 10-year-old age stated. So if you want to find out more about that, go check that video out. Good honest review there. But tonight, you know, I don't know, I was in the mood for some Buffalo Trace products. So, and with the news just coming out yesterday or whatever, I thought we would highlight Stagg Jr. I got my Stagg Jr. shirt on, the bold choice, Stagg Jr. Get a good look at that bottle there. This is batch number 14, I believe, summer of 2020, and we'll confirm that. But you know, the recent news, I guess yesterday came out that George T. Stagg Sr. Is not going to be coming out this year because it didn't live up to their qualities. But so that's disappointing. But yeah, probably slim chance of getting that one anyways. But this is Stagg Jr. 130.2 proof, batch 14, summer 2020. George T. Stagg built the most dominant American distillery of the 19th century during a time known as the Gilded Age of Bourbon. Uncut and unfiltered, this robust bourbon whiskey ages for nearly a decade and boasts the bold character that is reminiscent of the man himself. Tasty notes, it says, there are rich, sweet chocolate and brown sugar flavors mingle in perfect balance with the bold rye spiciness. The boldless finish lingers with hints of cherries, cloves, and smokiness. Awards: 2016 Gold Medal, International Wine and Spirits Competition, and 2016 Best of Category Gold Medal, 92 points, LA International Spirits Competition. But I think I mentioned in a previous video, this is, yeah, one of the bottles that, the first bottle that I ever won in a, lottery. Old Stagg Jr. Beautiful bottle. Gorgeous. But Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. George T. Stagg was born in Kentucky on December the 19th, 1835. Stagg built the most dominant American distillery of the 19th century on the banks of the Kentucky River during a time known as the Gilded Age of Bourbon. The distillery survived floods, fires, droughts, and even prohibition when it made whiskey for medicinal purposes. Today, Buffalo Trace Distillery strives to carry on the tradition of its famous forefather, uncut and unfiltered. This robust bourbon whiskey ages for nearly a decade and boasts a bold character that is reminiscent of the man himself. Well, kind of repeated that, but whatever. So, cheers, Bourbon Quest! Alright, Stagg Jr. Yeah, just rich, chocolate, caramel, spice. Get a lot of chocolate on that. And caramel, vanilla, just a lot of richness. You can feel that that ethanol there, but nicely so. I mean, it really noses under 130, in my opinion. Probably like around 115, 120. Delicious on the nose. All right, let's go in for a taste. Bourbon Quest. That is like so rich and dark caramel. Nice Kentucky hug. Man, that's really good stuff. Man, so there's no George T. Stagg this year, but if you get an opportunity to get any Stagg Jr., in my opinion, I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to what batch is what. I don't even know what they're up to now, 16 or something. Maybe up to 17, I don't know. I've got another one over here. I wonder if it's the same one. I got one out in the garage too that's been killed, but now this one's the 131.1 proof. So if you know what the what batch number this one is that I have over here, feel free to put that in the comments. But this is the batch 14, summer of 2020. Need something during the summer of 2020 to get you through, so this would do it. Yeah, getting that just dark fruit notes and chocolate, caramel, vanilla. Just, you know, long finish, robust, good Kentucky hug, beautiful bottle. Love Stagg Jr. One of my favorites. All right, that's Stagg is the high. It's a thumbs up. I only paid retail for this. Which is damn good. Like $65 or something, maybe 70, somewhere around there. But since we're hanging out drinking some Buffalo Trace products, we got a little Colonel Taylor single barrel here. I love Colonel Taylor products. And I know this is a little bit harder to find this. Don't sleep on the small batch. The small batch is one of my favorites. I just don't have one open at the minute. I've got a few back here, but this one is open, so I thought I'd do a little pour Colonel Taylor on a Thursday evening as we lead up to some NFL football. Was it Seahawks and somebody tonight? I don't really pay that close attention. But see how this compares to the Stagg. Sweeter on the nose. Lighter, obviously. It's a bottled and bond. It's a beautiful bourbon. Just nice and soft and sweet. Caramel, vanilla, cherry. For those of you that are not into the higher proof stuff like the Stagg, this is a great, easy sipping bourbon, Colonel East Taylor single barrel. Really, really good. But if you do like those robust flavors and high proof, then the Stagg Jr. And I know, unfortunately, I've never had a George T. Stagg, but I know other people, bourbon junkies and so forth, have multiple times, not just one, multiple times have had Stagg Jr. beat out George T. Stagg. So while I know everyone's, I shouldn't say everyone, while people are generally disappointed about no George T. Stagg for 2021, I don't think most of us are going to lose a ton of sleep of it, because we already realized that our chances of getting it were very slim anyways. Of course, slim's better than no chance, because now we have no chance. So I guess that part of it's disappointing, but even if it was available, your chance, my chance, were slim to none. But in this case, none wins out. Alright, little Blantons to kind of round out this video with some Buffalo Trace Blantons. I know, I'm gonna say it, just so smooth. This is a damn good bourbon. Too bad it's, harder and harder to find, and if you do, most people want double or thereabouts what it should be. In my opinion, most it should be is 70, maybe. I might go 80. I would not go over $85, to be honest with you, for it. But this is a damn good bottle. This particular one, just for disclosure purposes, is this was the one dumped on February the 8th of 21. Of course, warehouse aged, 93 proof, barrel number 446, brick number 9. And here's a little tip. And you can go back and look at this video that I did a few weeks back as well. If you're unable to find Blantons and you really like this whiskey more than just, you know, the beautiful bottle and the horsey top, go get yourself a John J. Bowman single barrel. It's Blanton's, aged in Virginia instead of Kentucky. So if you go watch that video, I did them side by side. Could not tell the difference. And John J. Bowman's like $50. It's 100 proof versus 93. It's the same damn stuff. All right, that's a little insider tip for you. But you know, all right, I'm gonna take one more sip and then we'll go back to the Stagg Jr. Because with the news that there is no George T. Stagg, I do want to highlight Stagg Jr. You know, if you find one, can acquire one. You know, at retail, $65-$70. Total thumbs up. Any of these, I'm a retail guy. I mean, I don't mind paying a 20%, 25, 30% premium on harder to find allocated stuff, but when they want to start charging, 100%, 200, 300, 400% above MSRP, I'm out. They're not that good. There's other great options out there, I promise you. Go to your local Total Wine if you have one nearby you, and I know you don't have any Colonel Taylor available. What would be something comparable? And they will point you to something that is damn near close, probably for half the price, like a Chestnut Farms or something like that. Like I said, on Blanton's, you can get a John J. Bowman single barrel, same thing. Now the Stagg Jr., I don't know if there's really maybe anything quite comparable to that on the shelf on a regular basis, but listen, I don't want to hype up Total Wine too much, but in my experience, they have great people on staff that are knowledgeable, know what they're doing, and can point you in a direction that I think 9 times out of 10 you're going to be pleased with. Are you going to go in there and get a Stagg Jr.? Probably not. Or a Colonel East. I shouldn't say Stagg Jr. That's a hard one to find something on the shelf that's comparable. There's just not a lot of 130, or proofs out there. But well, I mean, one example would be a Jack Daniel's single barrel proof. I mean, I'll do that in an upcoming video. I'll do them blind. I want to compare Stagg Jr. to Jack barrel proof. I think that might be something that's comparable that you can find. Not all the time, but most of the time, you should. If you go to more than 3 liquor stores in a week, you should be able to find a Jack single barrel proof, and that might be something that would be comparable to Stagg. And I'll make a note to do a blind comparison between those two. But Blanton's John J. Bowman single barrel, great alternative. Colonel Taylor single barrel, a Chestnut Farms bourbon I think is fairly comparable to Colonel Taylor, maybe more on the lines of the palate of an Eagle Rare, now that I think about it a little bit more. But that's what I mean. Honestly, other than, and I'm not trying to tout these people too much, but that's the one thing that I like about Total Wine. Not only do they have a huge selection, but they have knowledgeable and professional salespeople, which I have to say, very few liquor stores that I've been to have that. There's a handful, but they're much smaller in scope. The difference is they may have a store owner that's really in tune to things, and I can think of one great example to that. I'm not going to mention it specifically. You know what? I will. Saban Patel at Christie's Liquor Store in Knoxville, Tennessee is so tuned in to the game that he is very knowledgeable, very personable. But, you know, outside of him, and I'm not trying to be disparaging at all, you know, they might have 2 or 3, 4 other people that work there. And, you know, they do a great job for what they are. And I love Christie's liquor store. I love Saban. He's a great store owner. Really in tune about store picks and you know, communicating with you and whatever. But, you know, and there's a handful of others, but you know, most liquor stores are, the owner's not there. The people working there are either just behind the cash register. They're not out there to give you recommendations and show you things. Whereas, you know, and I don't have one in my area. You know, not only like a Total Wine I do have in my area. They're fantastic. Love those guys. But I know there's other big box liquor stores out there. Liquor Barn comes to mind. I do not have one of those in my area. But you know, if you have a big box store like a Total Wine or a Liquor Barn, and feel free to tell me what some other ones are. I know they're different in other areas and so forth. Those are valuable. Those people, they are passionate usually about what they do, and are willing and able to share their knowledge and give you good recommendations and point you in the right direction. Because you know, at the end of the day, none of these 3 bottles are sitting on the shelf, and if they are, they're typically overpriced. But you can get something that fits your profile and is along your lines. All right, kind of rambled on a little bit there, but I think that's a good public service announcement. You know, if you have that small liquor store with an owner like Saban Patel at Christie's, man, more power to you. I wish there was more of those out there. And or big box liquor stores like a Total Wine, a Liquor Barn, and I apologize, I'm not familiar with really many other ones other than those 2, and I don't have a Liquor Barn close or nearby to me. I do have a Total Wine, fortunately, and but you know, don't be shy about using their knowledge and letting them guide you in the direction that you want to go. I think 9 times out of 10 they will point you in the correct direction. Okay, but hey, Stagg Jr., glad to have you. The bold choice, as it says on the shirt, Stagg Jr. Bourbon Quest. Get you a bottle. It's delicious. Cheers, Bourbon Quest. I'm out. That's good. That is really good, bro. Ha ha.